Hey guys, StarCraft here, and well, this time I'm going back to another one I had on that poll a while ago, and we're going to be talking about GoBots number 3. Not a whole lot to say going in. I already reviewed the first 2 issues, and let's just see how Leader 1 took the choice at the end of number 2 and see just how things ended up, shall we? We open up our story, this issue, with 4 astronauts inside of a space shuttle in a very 2001 Space Odyssey-like shot as they wake up, and then, well, now feels like Alien when they're all talking about how they're going to be making planetfall, and it's not what they were planning on, but hey, how can you pass up on an inhabited world? So they figured, we'll go down there, check things out, and when they do, they find GoBots. Well, giant insectoids, technically, as Spay-C, the ship they were on Multiverse, and given the 2001 this, I almost imagine it being on my way, Charlotte. Spay-C comes in and fights off the insectoids as they hurry off, and we get a far off reaching shot as we see basically it's a giant planetoid with its big chunk of its center missed off and chopped off, as that's where they've been going around. And basically Spay-C keeps them fighting them all until he then puts the astronauts inside of him. Then more and more show up, but then a big roar is heard as they all start running. What were they running from? A giant T-Rex like Dinobot like GoBot comes out, and much like Godzilla, spews fire as Spay-C flies off. And as they do, all of a sudden it's being shot at by, well, Leader 1 and a bunch of others. Turns out that robot was known as Zod. And apparently Leader 1 is being treated as royalty, and somehow they've been able to get off of Earth and come to this other planet with other English-speaking GoBots. And basically the astronauts are, well, they're at Spay-C's mercy as they're wondering what's going on. But yeah, like I said, that giant robot was named Zod. What, did he want Spay-C to kneel before him? Anyway, we then also are revealed to a bigger ship that basically they all get on board, and basically they are dematerialized as Spay-C is obviously put into the brig as they figure out what to do with them as they leave. Then, while they're there, Spay-C lets the humans out. They start sneaking around a little bit. Turns out the planet is now known as Gobotron, and it's dying, and you and your cronies congratulate yourselves, as the one figure tells them, saying you vanquish your enemy and silence your critics, but you still do nothing. And basically, turns out Zod has been basically causing havoc, practically destroying everything on the highways of Gobotron, as Leader 1 does not like being reminded of his failures. The astronauts make their way back, but then they hide as it. Oh my god, the security door is a Simon game. Boop, 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 beep. Spay-C is then taken to meet Leader 1, and the astronauts are not inside of him at this point. And Leader 1 interrogates him. Who sent you here? Which of my enemies? Consider yourself lucky this is just the interrogation center. And basically, when Spay-C says he's from Earth, Leader 1 decks him and telling him, why do you try my bait shit and say this filthy forbidden word to me? Jeez, what the hell happened to Leader 1? He then says that Spay-C will be scheduled for reprogramming the next day. And they basically grab him and they toss him back into the brig. Time goes on then as we see Leader 1 get some kind of vision, including Eno, the Dark Angel, shows to him the heart of Gobotron, the laser lance. Can't tell if this is a dream or something, but yeah, he sees that, and Eno even calls him very smug, thinking himself king of the universe. Then Spay-C is contemplating, wondering, what do I do? Dematerialization is too good for me. But the astronauts get them out there, and well, yeah, that Simon game was small for a GoBot, but huge for humans, so obviously they had to mess around a little. But once they do and they get him out there, he then gets them all inside as, well, they get caught almost trying to escape. He fights it off and it even says, "You're not going to dematerialize me without a fight." And it turns out the Vision has actually allowed Leader 1 to rethink of things and says that you may be part of the Vision. We then cut to outside where, as we see Psykill still functioning, takes one Gobot and basically feeds him to Zod after killing him, even saying, "Hello, beautiful." We then find out that as time's going on, the astronauts are wondering, hey, Spay-C's been acting weird. And they deactivate the mics, realizing he's giving them the silent treatment. They have no idea what's going on as he interacts with the other Gobots. But hey, even Gobots need to rest, so they realize, okay, let's figure things out. All of a sudden then, outside of their ship, we see what seems to be a raid, but turns out it's Psykill with Zod behind them, somehow convincing him to come in. Oh lord, Psykill says it. "Guardians, come out and play." Oh lord. Then basically they start storming the gates, and what happens? Well, they force their way on board as they take control of the transport ship. Or they start to, but then all of a sudden it takes off into the air, as then they get on board another ship and start giving chase, and with full thrusters. Meanwhile, the astronauts shoot out with their little pod, asking Spay-C, "What are you doing? We're sick of all of your invasions, all of your stalling. If you won't get us out of here, we'll do it ourselves." To which he basically makes excuses, saying, "I know I've been acting weird, guys, but yesterday these Gobots were going to dematerialize me, but now they trust me. We're in a better position." And basically they say, "We're going to make for it with or without you. We're going back to Earth." And he basically said, like, "We can't go back to Earth, at least not the way you see it. You were sleeping in hibernation longer than you think. Everyone you ever knew, at least human-wise, is dead." Which they find really, really disturbing. We then see a pretty good action sequence going on as Leader 1, Spay-C, and Spay-C continue to fight him off, trying to buy time until they can make a hyper jump. And they soon make it back on as it then takes off and the ship flies off, making the others give chase, wondering where the heck they went. Turned out they did jump to the other side of Gobotron, and they didn't want them to know where they were going, so now they're going to the core of Gobotron, a place that's been sealed off for a long time. And when they do, turns out Gobotron does not look as robotic in its core. Looks like it's all rocky and everything, and Spay-C runs off and basically falls into a sinkhole where there's two very familiar Gobots, Scooter and Turbo. Scooter is acting a little goofy lately, and Turbo reveals that it was a power-mad evil Gobot that did it. Spay-C thinks it was Psykill, but it was Leader 1 that did it to him. Would have done the same to Turbo too had they not busted out of there. And then Turbo realizes he has humans in there. Even points a gun at him saying, "Let them out." Talks to them and they reveal everything about how Spay-C's been acting weird, kept them in cryo feeds longer, and that they'll never see their families and friends. And then basically, Turbo asks, You've been through it, tell me your story." And they basically say, "We went farther than any ship ever had, we found their planet." And then Turbo asks, "You haven't told them where they are, have you?" And Spay-C then starts fighting Turbo, and as they struggle, the astronauts get out of there. As they go past, and they said they need soil samples, they go back past these rock Gobots. And once they do, they stop somewhere, and they find out through the soil sample, they're on Earth. What? So, yeah, what? I mean, seriously, what? I did not expect any of this to happen, and yeah, the last one ended on such a cliffhanger in the present day, but I mean, overall, this was a very good issue, but what a twist. It's like, yeah, it was Earth all along, but yeah, I did not see it coming. I mean, it makes sense, actually, when you think about it, but how long has time passed for it to reach this point? I mean, What? And Leader 1 decided to go down the Cycle route? I mean, jeez. This was just... wow. Well, I wasn't expecting that whatsoever. I mean, seriously. Leader 1 took the more kill and the bad guy route and basically turned Earth into a new home for them, and that many years have dropped. So that means the human character we saw in the last one are dead and it didn't matter? Okay, we only got 2 more issues left of this thing, so... I mean, I'm curious, and it was a nice build-up, very interesting, and what made us lead into what's going on, and who do we trust and all that, and poor Scooter ending up the way he did, but yeah, I'm just curious now. This was a bit of a swerve, if you know what I'm saying, so yeah, let's see what happens next, and until then, yeah, I don't know what else to say, but wow, wait and see. So, that's all I gotta say. Take care, everyone.